This is the vlog for August 17th, 2020. I'm Jamie. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon. You're in a different room of the house. You're sitting at my kitchen table. The lighting is better in here. The other room just kind of feels like a cave, partly because the dogs tend to bark a lot, so I just keep the blinds closed in there. So welcome to my dining room table. Uh, so tomorrow is my kiddo's 5th birthday. Um, this is usually around the time where most women are like, what was I doing? Right now, 5 years ago, before I went into labor, I think I was having coffee with friends, having a nap, or coffee, tea, hot chocolate, whatever. Or like sitting on a yoga ball playing Diablo with my husband. Trying to stay awake because exhaustion was a thing. I mean, normally I could have fallen asleep at the drop of a hat, but it was like narcoleptic at that point. Um, and then I would go into labor that evening. Anyway, yeah, it's her birthday always gives us a chance to kind of like reflect, and I think any birthday kind of does. But it's been interesting to see how like the little decisions we make in life, how they affect everything that happens after that, even though it doesn't seem like a monumental decision. Um, like the Navy has been a great one. Now, granted, the Navy was a big decision, obviously for my husband, but I asked him the other day. I said, "Have you ever thought of what you would do if you didn't join the Navy?" He says, "I don't like to think about it because I wouldn't have married you." And he's probably not wrong. Um, I don't know where he'd be or what he'd be doing, and I don't think he does either. I think the discipline and the stability and the support of the military has really helped uh, helped him build the life that he wants with the people that he wants in it. That being me, and we wouldn't have this amazing kiddo. And where would I be if he hadn't joined the military and we hadn't pursued a relationship? I don't know. Probably still working a day job, being a worker bee, and pursuing theater and music. And I don't know. I don't know. Dating was never really my thing. I wasn't really very good at it. I didn't enjoy it most of the time. I mean, it's fun going out on dates, yeah, but like weeding people out, or is this a relationship or not a relationship, or where's this going? And like seeing potential for a relationship, but then there'll be some like thing that just doesn't click, or it doesn't click and the timing is wrong or whatever. And all the heartache that goes into that. I mean, that's tough stuff. And um, I'd like to think I was a pretty good girlfriend. I was never, who is? I was never perfect. I was never great. I don't, and never really did. Well, did when I was younger, but as I got older, I didn't really appreciate the girlfriend experience. I kind of feel like that's a way station to figuring things out. To either this is going to last or I'm flying solo again. So um, I I was not the kind of girl that was going to be a girlfriend for 5, 6 years. Anyway, I don't think I would have gotten into this field if life hadn't rolled out the way this had. Um, even 10 years ago, I would never have expected this. So it's been interesting, but I also wouldn't have had a weightlifting accident that changed my vocal cords. So it made my range much smaller. My soprano is much breathier. Um, I shelved singing for years because it's sort of like if you're an amazing runner and you worked at it and you're fast and you love it and it feels great, and then all of a sudden you have an injury and it hurts to run now past a certain speed. Um, it's very similar. So it's like something that came super easy, even though I had to work at it, but it came super easy, was now physically painful and challenging after a certain point. So I backed off of that, and it's also one of those turning point decisions. Like uh, this was a tough one for me. So um, after I did a play here, and I was donating my time to helping community theater do other things, build sets and stuff like that. But after that, my husband asked if I was okay not doing theater. And that was kind of like a blow because that was one of my major reasons to moving to Washington to begin with, because it took a lot of time away. And to a degree, to a greater degree than him, I can control my schedule. He can't. I mean, the government owns him. When it shows he needs to show up, he needs to show up. And when it means he's spending nights, he's spending nights. When he's deployed, he's deployed. So he asked if I could keep the shows to like deployment timeframes. I was pretty much okay with that. I mean, I was a little sad, but I kind of pivoted to becoming a patron of theater as much as I could. Um, I still miss it, and I'm sure I will get back to it someday. But I miss inhabiting a character, and I think even writing like that, did you see the light in my eyes sparkle at that? Because I saw the light in my eyes sparkle at that. Um, being able to inhabit this thing that you just kind of created out of thin air and get to explore that part of you and your personality and your traits and all that is magical. And I realize that not everybody has the ability or the desire to do that. It doesn't bother me to do it in front of an audience. Um, in fact, if anything, my history in performing has helped in a lot of different aspects of my life. Um, but I definitely miss the camaraderie and I miss even though it never really lasted very long, there's very few people from my theater life I'm still friends with. Not out of any malice, it just your family when you're in the show. And when you're not, meh. And then you see each other again in another show and you're like distant cousins that finally reconnected. And connection, being an adoptee is something that's always had it feels like it's always had a different connotation for me. I've learned a lot about how to have healthy relationships, but I had to learn. Like it was tough. I had to make a lot of mistakes, and I did some therapy for a while to kind of like figure out how to embrace who I am and navigate a healthy way through the world. Um, I am very lucky to be able to do what I do in business for myself. It does definitely make me miss my dad. If you haven't followed my blog, uh, my dad passed away in 2013 from pancreatic cancer. My mom has not remarried. They were together for 42 and some change, or almost 42 years. I forget which. Um, so it's definitely been one of those times where I wish I could pick up the phone because dad had several businesses. One of them still up and running and going. My brother's helping out, working for that one. Um, but I would love to be able to pick up the phone and say, "Hey dad, I got a question. Hey dad, what do you think?" But well, maybe this is my way of carrying on his legacy. I've spent the majority of the day without the kiddo, doing work, starting my nutrition program up, getting my beta testers enrolled in that, doing laundry, because anytime we throw a curve into the kiddo's life, there are accidents. And this morning was yet another morning when I got to wake up in a puddle of someone else's pee. Yay. So, washing all the sheets again. But now I am off to take care of the kiddo and do the yard work. Wish me luck. And tomorrow will be better.